About to throw the flag for the second to last race of the season of the Thursday Night Thunder Series from the virtual Talladega Superspeedway. Qualifying just completed in round 17 of 18 in this third season of Thursday Night Thunder. About to get underway with Richie C on the pole. The 88 of Arch Enemy to his outside. Green flag is out and we're racing at Dega. First lap complete, Richie C, USA, leading lap number 1. T. Lockhart saying, ooh, Dega, he's ready, I'm ready. I hope everybody else is ready because we are now underway. 1 lap complete at the Talladega Superspeedway. 93 laps to go in this second to last race of the season. The 24 of Richie C still leading the Bahamian Bossy Gio to his outside in car number 17. Arch Enemy kicked back outside of the top 5 in his Jimmy Johnson homage livery. Twisted Navy second in this Chevy, Toyota, Ford trifecta on the inside lane. And Talladega won winner earlier this season, driver of the 14 car, Jacket FND, sitting in third. He won here last time Thursday Night Thunder came to Talladega, looking to do the same, but he's going to have to get around the 18 of Twisted Navy. That is an incredibly difficult task. Now trying to get a draft from the 17 of Bossy Gio. 2 Fords, 3 Fords now on the outside of this Chevy. Toyota train on the inside. Jacket FND leading the charge with help from the Bahamian and the native Alabama pilot Ryan Pennell. Third on the outside line. 2 by 2, 6 rows deep out of 4. Drag race to the line, 92 laps to go this time by, and it's Jacket FND who leads that lap. But now, which lane will prevail? So much harder for these drivers to get the proper draft, the proper pass on the outside. And there you can see the outside line runs out of steam. The 24 of Richie C still leading the 14 and the 19. That's Jacket and Lurkin Tom respectively coming together. The Canadian pilot in the 22, nifty agenda to the inside of the Bahamian Bossy Gio in car number 17. The Mexican pilot and champion of Thursday Night Thunder for this year, Marsh Mauro, now far back on the inside line behind the Ohio pilot, Deplorable Me. Bossy Gio behind the 14 of Jacket. These two determined to draft together today. The Bahamian slots right ahead of the champion, Marsh Mauro, in the 96 ComScope Toyota. Deplorable Me struggling to stay behind the 41 of Moldy Muskrat, who can't hold a steady line through 1 and 2. Moldy now going to the outside. Will he take Deplorable with him? The 4 car stays right to the inside. He's going to give a nudge. The 41 going to be left out to dry with the only car to help him, the 14 of Jacket FND. These two going to get stuck on the outside, but it is early laps. So drivers like Superspeedway who have completely lost the draft, they have a chance to get back up into the field. And then we mentioned the local boy, Ryan Pennell, in car number 12. He's got time to get back up towards the front as well. Arch Enemy in the 88 car, another one of the drivers that fell off the mark. He's slowly catching up to the 3 of Superspeedway. Those two will get back together. The draft towards the front, the 14 of Jacket FND going incredibly haywire out of turn number 2, but he gathers his race car back in one solid piece. Twisted Navy in the 18 car remaining in second. He's got a reputation for being one of the best pushers on plate tracks. The 24 of Richie C, comfortable with the 18 of Twisted Navy. Right behind him, the 19 of Lurkin Tom Gaming in the third position. Nifty Agenda in car 22 to the inside of Deplorable Me in the 4. On the outside now, Twisted Navy making the move work. You saw the draft poetry in motion. 18, 19, nose to tail. New leader at the front of this race, Twisted Navy. Toyota, Ford. Now your top 4. Richie C, still the highest ranked Chevrolet, but he's about to fall back to 6th. That looks like the 11 of Term, who's lost control of his race car, coming back up onto the racetrack, trying to look from behind this car here, and it looks like the 11 of Term has completely fallen off the mark. Looking from the 14 of Jacket FND, Term has lost that draft. Heavy contact from the 17 of Bossy Gio, who's now trying to get back up into this lead draft. Single file every last car in this front pack. Drivers will have about 19 laps of fuel on one fuel run. Tires not so important this time around. And now the best pusher on the track has to defend. Time and time again, we've seen Twisted Navy defend as best as he possibly can in these races. Will it be successful one more time? So far, no one looking to the outside but the 2 of COT Tommy by himself with nobody to help push that 2. He's got no assistance to the outside. Stuck on the high line. The 24 of Richie C closes the door on the inside. The 96 of Marshmallow pushing the Floridian along in the number 24 Liberty car. And he'll overtake the 2 of COT Tommy, who's getting backed up right in front of the 17 of Boss Gio. Tommy now falling outside of the top 5. He sits 8th, this time across the line. 84 laps to go. Next time around, Twisted Navy still comfortably leading in the 18. He's got the Season 1 champion, Lurkin Tom Gaming, right behind him, and the Canadian from Northern Ontario, Nifty Agenda, sits in 3rd. Still at the front of this pack. The 22 of Nifty Agenda looking high, possibly trying to draft his way around the outside or shake something up, trying to find a new draft partner. The 96 of Marshmallow now moves into 4th. Toyota, Chevy, Toyota, Ford, your top 5, as the 12 of Ryan Pinnell fills in that 5th position. Bossy Gio in the 17, getting to the inside of Twisted Navy in the 22 car. Twisted moving back with the 2 of COT Tommy and the 14 of Jacket. Perhaps a partnership among those 3 Mustangs, trying to catch up to this number 17 Mustang here. Moldy Muskrat darts right to the inside in front of the 17, catches the 17 right on the nose, forces the 17 car to slow up more than he wanted to. Moldy Muskrat pulling a dangerous move in front of the Bahamian. Everyone's lucky that didn't turn out half as bad as it did. Deplorable Me in the 4 car, losing a bit of the gap to the 12 of Ryan Pinnell, but now help from that 41 car of Moldy Muskrat. These 2 drafting back up the inside line. Suicideways in the 3, still hasn't linked up with the 88. Arch Enemy right behind him. Both of these drivers under threat of going a lap down if this race continues green through these green flag pit stops. Official Term in the 11 car. You can see he's well ahead of the 3, but still none of these drivers dropping back to help each other. Nifty Agenda in the 22 car, now trying to draft with the 17 of Bossy Gio. He's getting a great run into turn 1. Where does the 22 move? The Jacket in the 14 car going to the high side to not lose so much momentum. He'll tuck in back behind the 2. 17 gives a shunt to the 41, 22 behind the 17. Moldy Muskrat throwing erratic blocks all over the racetrack, struggling to keep that race car in one solid piece. 17 of Bossy Gio moves high. There's the 41 of Moldy Muskrat, now being overtaken by Nifty Agenda. Jacket now trying to get behind the 41. Both of these SHR cars trying to make a move. 41 darts to the inside, under the Bahamian. 3 wide for position. The 41 not bumping the 4 of Deplorable through the tri-oval, waiting to get a run down the short chute. 41 looks to the outside. 4 to the inside of Ryan Pennell in the 12 car. Laps winding down at Talladega, but still so much race remains. Moldy in the 41 to the outside line. He's got not enough support from the 17 of Bossy Gio. The 22 of Nifty Agenda also getting backed up. Here comes the Arkansas pilot, Jacket FND in the 14 car to the inside. He's following Deplorable in that 4. Another lap takes off the board. They have 80 laps to go at the Talladega Superspeedway. The 12 car, the local driver, Ryan Pennell. Growing up as a boy in Alabama, he loved coming to this racetrack and now living his dreams through Heat 5, but trying to get the win. 4th in line, pushing the already decided series champion Marsh Mauto in the 96. He sits 3rd in a line of 3 Toyotas. Going back in the opposite direction here, trying to find these Toyotas. There's Lurkin Tom Gaming in the 19 car. Diligently pushing the 18 of Twisted Navy, and you better believe they're on some sort of fantastic fuel conservation strategy, something that has to be necessary for these drivers to save fuel to make these runs work for them. Through that first corner, the 18 car still leading patiently with the 19 of Lurkin Tom right behind him. The 4 of Deplorable Me trying to get back up to the front of this field. The 12 of Ryan Pennell at the tail end of this lead group. But now here comes a train of Fords on the outside. Deplorable in the 4, being helped by the 24 of Richie C, the 14 of Jacket, the 41 of Moldy Muskrat, trying to push this train on the outside. 4 Fords in this 5-car train on the outside, trying to overtake the Toyota. Twisted Navy still on the inside, but just not enough cars to make that defense worthwhile. But this outside train will not clear the inside train. The 4 of Deplorable, new leader around the corner. Will he ditch his help on the outside for the inside? He will not, and in turn, the 18 of Twisted Navy, now with help from the 19 of Lurkin Tom, side by side, neck and neck, coming down the back straight. Big push from the 96 of Marsh Mauto, but there are now more cars pushing on the outside than the inside, yet the inside line refuses to quit, defying the science at Talladega. Now out of 4, you can expect the outside line to have some sort of momentum, but the 96 of Marsh Mauto coming through with a clutch push through this tri-oval. Twisted Navy will lead another lap at Talladega, and you can expect green flag pit stops. This time or next time around, it'll be 75 laps to go the next time they cross the line. Here come those green flag pit stops. Everybody trying to get it woed down to 55 miles an hour. A speeding penalty here means the loss of your draft partners and your race potentially. New leader in car 96, Marsh Maudo, now being pushed along by the Bahamian Bossy Gio in the 17. The Ohio pilot, Deplorable Me, in third place in car number 4. '96 ahead. He will be staying out on pit road as staying out on the racetrack. The 17 and the 12 making contact. Bossy Gio going for a spin right into pit road. Damage on the front of the number 17 Fastenal Ford as the game struggles to get him righted. And that 17 with a huge loss of time after making contact with the 12 of Ryan Pennell. Drivers collecting another 19 laps of fuel, and there you can see the 12 car well off the pace, well far behind the 96 of Marsh Maudo. Drivers trying to get their draft partners. The 96 of Marsh still being scored as your leader. Here comes the 18 of Twisted Navy, running 8th, 9th, and 10th with the 14 of Jacket and the 19 of Lurkin Tom Gaming, respectively. Getting their laps back from the 96 car, Marsh Maudo, who now comes down pit road with 73 laps to go this time by. Top 6 drivers all reunited once again. Jacket breaking up that train of Fords, now coming up to the 41 of Moldy Muskrat, and they overtake Bossy Gio in the 17 in the inside. The Bahamian out of fuel. Bossy Gio running out on the way down pit road, losing a lap, and this will cost him at least 1 lap, potentially 2 laps, and if he's got enough damage, 2.5 to 3. 73 laps to go in this race. The 96 of Marsh Maudo still being scored as the leader, but here come his opponents on the outside. 96 overtaken with ease. New leader, the 18 of Twisted Navy. 17 still coming to a painful crawl down pit road. The 41 of Moldy Muskrat passing below the yellow line, making contact with the 19 of Lurkin Tom Gaming, and a potential pass to the inside of the 19. Rough draft there. The 41 of Moldy now under scrutiny for the remainder of this race, and you'll see what the stewards decide. Big holdup with the 41 and the 19 making contact up the inside line. The 41 of Moldy Muskrat giving the position back to Lurkin Tom Gaming, potentially fixing the issue. We'll have to check at the end of the race. But the 41 now at the tail end of that long line with the 4 of Deplorable Me coming up behind him. The Kentucky driver, Suicideways in the Dow Frost Chevrolet, well ahead of the 88 of Arch Enemy. There's the Alabama native, Ryan Pennell, by himself with no draft partners with 71 laps remaining in this race. And it's going to be a lonely rest of the afternoon unless a caution comes out to save him. Nifty agenda in the same boat in that 22 car. Back to the front pack. Toyota, Ford, Chevrolet, your top 3. The 18 of Twisted Navy, the 14 of Jacket, the 24 of Richie C, your pole sitter, currently running third, the 2 of COT Tommy running 4th. In 5th place, Lurkin Tom Gaming, and then in 6th at the back of this field, the 41 of Moldy Muskrat. Where's it? Holy nugget. I want to make sure I'm calling these guys by the right proper number. Yeah, the 41 is Moldy Muskrat. Want to make sure I'm getting the names right there. Bossy Gio now coming out of pit road, several laps down, being overtaken by the leaders, and the 17 Fastenal Ford won't even be able to get onto their draft. He'll have to wait for the Ohio native Deplorable Me to catch him up in the 4, and then the series champion Marshmallow also well behind him. Look at this now, 3 wide, Ford position. Richie Seed trying to move on the outside line, not good enough to take that lead. The 41 of Moldy Muskrat unstable on that yellow line, now inside, drafting with the 14. 18, 14, 41, now your top 3. Drivers have about another 13 laps of fuel remaining. 69 laps to go in this penultimate round of TNT. It's been a nice race so far, especially for the 18 of Twisted Navy, who's led the majority of laps today. The Connecticut driver, COT Tommy, trying to get back into fighting contention. COT Tommy winning the season opener at Daytona, then scoring a second-place finish at Indianapolis just 3 weeks ago, trying to get another podium after 2 consecutive 11th-place finishes. Richie C, USA, last week not finishing the race at the Charlotte Roval, his best finish this season, 4th that came at Atlanta 6 weeks ago. I'm sorry, 2nd that came at Bristol 2 weeks ago. The next best finish, 4th that came 6 weeks ago. Contact between the 41 and the 14, Moldy Muskrat washing up the racetrack, making heavy contact with the 14 of Jacket FND. The leader, Twisted Navy, just butter smooth on the inside track, has not put a foot wrong all afternoon and continues to lead in that red Skittles number 18 Camry. Five weeks ago, Twisted Navy scores his first win of the season at Darlington and jumps up into those TNT points, 3 wide for the lead. Lurkin Tom gaming to the outside, trying to pick off the leader, and the 19 car will run out of steam in turn number 1, and he will gently float to the back. Camry, Mustang, Camaro, your top 3 once again, with Lurkin Tom Gaming expending his chance. The 24 of Richie C, trying to look to the outside, but he'll keep his position. The leaders now coming up onto lap traffic. Where will the lap traffic move? Bringing up the points, trying to find out where the top 4 battle will ensue. You can see Twisted Navy sits in the 4th spot by just 90 points over Twisted Navy. Crotum not competing in this race tonight. He's going to lose a lot of spots and potentially that top 4 position. We'll see how the results pan out tonight. But that 2 car of COT Tommy, he needs to get 90 points in the next 2 races to make those ARCS playoffs. And speaking of ARCS, Jaco53 getting up in the chat. The South Carolinian, one of the Palmetto State's best, joining the chat. My good buddy Jaco, glad to have you in the chat, buddy. Sit back, relax, crack a refreshing beverage. I hope you're enjoying this race. Inside 69 laps to go. The 18 of Twisted Navy leading the majority of laps tonight. The 14 of Jacket right behind him in that Rush Truck Centers Ford. Coming up to Suicideways, the Kentucky pilot in the 3. Suicideways listing lazily to the right, getting out of the way of these leaders. Good move. Hats off to the 3 car. Marshmallow in the 96, the 20-year-old Thursday Night Thunder champion from Monterrey, Mexico, behind the Dayton, Ohio pilot Deplorable Me in the 4 car. Catching up to the Bahamian Bossy Gio, driving from Nassau. Up ahead in the 17, Fastenal Ford. Running in 2nd place from the nose of that Rush Truck Centers Ford, Jacket FND. Last week at Charlotte, not scoring a finish, and there is some action there. The 14 car going well to the inside. The 41 of Moldy Muskrat to the outside. Jacket struggling to keep his race car in a straight line. And the yellow is out. Cars slowing down. First, yellow flag of the night, brought to us by Freedom Venture Properties. We'll get a word here with our local pilot, Ryan Pinnell, here in just a moment. But, folks, I do want to talk about Freedom Venture Properties. We'll bring up the track facts brought to us by Freedom Venture. Freedom Venture Properties are a locally owned business based in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and they are passionate about all things real estate. They're committed to leading their clients into freedom from real estate burdens. They have a process that includes an offer that is fair with a process that is quick and easy. They are here for you. Reach out to them today at info@freedomventureproperties.com or on their website, freedomventureproperties.com. You can also check them out on Facebook. Speaking of local drivers, we were talking about the 12 of Ryan Pinnell, who hails from nearby Hoover, Alabama, right here in the Birmingham area. Let's see if we can get a word with our native driver, our hometown talent in the number 12. Ryan Pinnell, Rick James in the booth, buddy. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Ryan, welcome home to the Talladega Superspeedway. We were just saying you grew up in nearby Hoover, Alabama, and as a kid passing by Interstate 20, you could see the racetrack and sometimes hear the cars when you drove by during a race weekend. But now you are home, and you did very well in that first stanza of racing. With this first break you've taken so far, would you say you have a winning car today?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we got into just a little bit of miscommunication between me and boss. I thought he was staying out, and he was actually pitting, so I ended up rear-ending him, and really kind of screwed his race over. So we were lucky enough to stay on the lead lap. Now I'm back in 7th after the pit stop. So yeah, we definitely have a fast car. Just a little miscommunication on getting on pit road. So we'll get that fixed, and we'll try and get back up front.
Who's your favorite draft partner so far? We're going to restart here with right around 60 laps to go, so a third of the race gone. Is there anybody that's really going to help you get to the front?
I mean, I got to look to all my Ford teammates. Obviously my Penske teammates, Tommy and Nifty. Both of them will try and work together. But if I see a blue oval, I'm going to try and work with them. So we'll see what we can do and try and get up front. But right now, bottom is it's gold. I mean, you want to stay on the bottom as much as you can. So we'll see what we can do here.
We'll look for you out there on the bottom. And the most important question for you tonight, Ryan, as a native to Alabama, what is your favorite movie theater candy?
I'm going to have to go with, I mean, I don't know if you can even classify this as candy, but popcorn. I'm just not a candy guy, so I go with the popcorn with the butter, and that's usually all I eat.
Popcorn with the butter. You know what? We'll classify that. We'll throw that in as the movie theater candy. We're going to let you get back to work, so best of luck tonight, Ryan.
Thank you.
Local driver Ryan Pinnell from nearby Hoover, Alabama, getting ready to restart 4th on the inside line. D-Bucks in the chat says, Ryan, the biggest Tide fan of them all. He is indeed. He actually has Nick Saban's face tattooed on the small of his back. He got that after Saban's 4th championship. And so, as Ryan says, he's got Roll Tide tattooed in a very special place. Hopefully that will bring him to victory. At the front of this race, you have the 4 and the 96. Marsh Mauto to the outside. Deplorable Me to the inside. Green flag is out. Restarting at Talladega. Everybody makes it through unscathed in that first lap. After restart, you can see just the dead heat for first, and you can see 3 wide there for second. Cars trying to stay off of each other out of the corner. Twisted Navy on the outside in the 18 car ahead of the Hoover native. Ryan Pannell out of turn number 2, 18, 12, 41 in the middle lane. Turn V in the outside in the FedEx Camry, trying to deliver a charge to the lead. Moldy Muskrat with 2 tires on the yellow line, potentially inside the white line, muscling his way around Ryan Pannell. The 41 getting a big shove from the 4, the 14 and the 2 getting backed up out of 4, but it's 4 Fords on the inside lane, pushing their way to the front of this field. New leader in car 41, Moldy Muskrat. Deplorable Me second, Jacket third, 60 laps to go. Drivers will have about another 15 laps of fuel next time they cross the line, and they are so bunched up together you can just smell what these drivers are brewing. The 19 of Lurkin, Tom Gaming, rolling 5th right now, the highest ranked Toyota. He seems to have lost some of his Toyota teammates out on the racetrack. The Bass Pro Camry behind the Connecticut driver COT Tommy, trying to find a move inside, outside. He looks, he peeps. He backs off the gas, and the 24 of Richie C will pick up his draft. Bossy Gio in the 17 car, the first 3 rounds of the season, finished 3rd, 2nd, 7th. Picked up a win at Richmond Raceway several weeks ago, but he hasn't had a podium finish in 5 weeks. The Bahamian driving the Fastenal Ford, going for broke. Already picked up heavy damage to the front of his hot rod. He'll be looking to do a little better this time around. Deplorable Me looking on the outside. He should be in points mode. He finds himself 115 points outside of the ARCS playoff positions. He sits 6th right now. Look at this 3-wide fight for position. The 2 of COT Tommy has to yield, and it looks like there's another yellow flag out on the racetrack. Caution number 2 comes out over the field. And fans at home, we're going to take a 60-second break to keep the pre-rolls off, to keep new fans engaged in the action as soon as possible. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Subscribers at home still listening, you are going ad-free thanks to your Rick James TV subscription. We thank you so very, very much for that. Moldy Muskrat in the 41 leading this race, albeit rather aggressively. You can see he put 2 tires on the yellow line to overtake Ryan Pannell as he went under the yellow line before the first caution to overtake Lurkin Tom Gaming. Nifty agenda in the 22 car, the lone Canadian rolling behind Richie C in car number 24. Nifty has had an up and down season. He has had, however, 4 top 10 finishes, 9th, 3rd, 4th, and 9th in his last 4 races, making his way up through the points. Playoffs seem quite a long way off, if not just impossible at this point, but Nifty still fighting for pride. He comes into this race 7th in the point standings, and it looks like the 4 car of Deplorable Me not coming in. Will he be missing out on crucial fuel mileage? He is gambling on another caution coming up soon. Let's see if we can get a word with the Ohio native and find out what his race strategy is. DP, Rick James in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Deplorable, you're staying out while the rest of your rivals are coming down pit road. Is this some sort of strategy? Are you gambling on a caution coming in the next dozen laps?
Yeah, I figured a couple more guys would stay out with me. I turned around and I was all alone, so we'll see how this works out. But yeah, I'm going to be about 3 laps shy of the rest of the field. Tires don't really much matter to me with the track position, but yeah, I need a caution.
56 laps to go when we restart this time by. Ryan Pennell said the Ford guys are all hooking up and trying to find their way around the inside. Is that the story in the Ford camp?
Yeah, the inside is king, but if I get a run and I know there's some guys behind me that will go, there's some passing on the outside. You just got to get it done quick.
Now, for all the fans watching at home and all your fans back home near Dayton, the most important question we'll ask you this evening: what is your favorite movie theater candy?
Popcorn.
Popcorn, 2 for 2 on the popcorn. Ryan Pennell also said popcorn. We're going to let you get back to work here. Half a lap to go, DP. Best of luck in the race. Hopefully you get some victory popcorn at the end.
No doubt. Thanks, buddy. Hope you enjoy the show.
Oh, I'm enjoying the show. I'm having the time of my life. I'm always enjoying the show. There is, honestly, there's not a better seat in the house than watching this from above and getting to talk to everybody here as much as I can. T. Lockhart says classic choice with the movie snacks. Absolutely. Matter of fact, man, I'm craving popcorn myself. I should probably go out and get some once this race is over. So let's hurry this up, because Rick James wants his popcorn. Popcorn and a nice cold soda would be really nice. We'll see. The 4 of Deplorable Me to the inside. The pole sitter, Richie C. USA to the outside in the number 24 at Liberty Chevrolet. We're going to go green this time by. NASCAR's been racing here since 1969. And of course, Buddy Baker with the first ever 200 mile an hour lap here. 200.4 miles an hour, I believe it was. And at the time, I'm pretty sure that was a closed course world record. We'll see what other records will be set here as we restart this race with 56 to go. The Dayton driver, Deplorable Me, gets the flag, and we're racing again. This restart brought to us by Freedom Venture Properties. So far, so good. The first lap, now 55 laps to go in this 17th of 18 Thursday Night Thunder races from the Talladega Superspeedway. Ford, Toyota, Ford, your top 3. The 18 of Twisted Navy getting shuffled to the outside. Here comes the Connecticut pilot. COT Tommy gives a nice little tap to the 4 of Deplorable Me. 4-2-19. Top 3 into 3. Busch Light leading PPG and the Bass Pro Tracker Camry in third, but now the 96 of Marsh Maudo, the Season 2 champion, getting behind the Southern Massachusetts pilot, Lurkin Tom Gaming. The Comscope Camry, I believe 7 wins this season, 6 or 7, let me double check, but he's just won an absurd amount of races this season. He's already clinched 7 wins in 15 starts. He's going for 8 wins in 16 starts tonight. Only 1 DNS this season, and of course he's with a hit rate of almost 50%. He has clinched the Thursday Night Thunder regular season championship, and he will be moving on to the ARCS Unified Playoffs in a few weeks' time. The top 4 drivers from Thursday Night Thunder will face off against the top 8 drivers from A Squared, and we will crown 1 unified champion of the Alliance Racing Championship Series. .53 laps to go. The 14 of Jacket FND sitting in the 5th position, just being overtaken by the 96 of Marsh Maudo. There is the Arkansas native with the 22 of Nifty Agenda behind him. The 12 of Ryan Pennell struggling to maintain a straight line on the inside. The 17 of Bossy Gio joins the back of the Canadian in a concerted effort to get these 5 cars closer to the front, but there's not enough momentum when the inside line is getting ready for a big push down the front. The 4 of Deplorable Me still leading, but you heard him during yellow. He is gambling on another caution coming out. Is it a wise gamble? D-Bucks saying, here comes the Plate King, COT Tommy. And for a couple of years now in Thursday Night Thunder, there has always been a tradition of the 2 and the 18 getting hooked up nose to tail. The Skittles Camry of Twisted Navy at the very back of this pack. But the 2 of COT Tommy now all over the back end of Deplorable Me. You can even see shades of PPG Blue up the backside of that number 4 Busch Apple Ford out of turn number 2. 4219 Ford Toyota, your top 3. The number 3 of Suicideways well off the pace, and he's losing too much time if he's going to stay on the lead lap without help from a yellow. The Alabama native Ryan Pennell getting moved slightly to the outside by the 24 of Richie C. He holds his line together. There is COT Tommy, the Connecticut driver in the number 2 Penske Ford. One of the best plate drivers Thursday Night Thunder has ever seen. One of the best fuel strategists that ARCS has ever seen. If it does become a fuel race, expect the 2 car to be well in contention using the draft by himself. Now on the outside of Deplorable Me, a drag race down to the line. Who's going to lead this lap? 4 car gets no help from the 19, and Deplorable Me leads that last time around. Richie C with a big shunt to the 2 of COT Tommy. But Tommy with a further distance to go on the outside line, just not enough draft help, not enough momentum to keep the lead on the high side of the 19 of Lurkin Tom, struggling to stay in that straight line. Ford, Toyota, Ford, your top 4 cars now on the bottom lane. Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Tommy, Richie, Twisted, all on the outside, trying to gather more cars than the inside has lined up. Always such a tough task. Arch Enemy now back in the game. This number 88 Chevy Goods. Jimmy Johnson like paint scheme, bringing up the rear of this lead pack, trying to get closer to the front. The 18 of Twisted Navy cutting down right in front of the 22 of Nifty Agenda. The Ontario driver has to check up. The 18 now to the inside of the 2 of COT Tommy. Wait to see if these drivers decide to link up nose to tail. We have not seen this special partnership come back to life yet, but still over half the race remains. For 96-12, your top 3, the 18 of Twisted Navy gets to the outside line, and lo and behold, the 2 of COT Tommy now behind the 18, and abandon all hope. The rest of these competitors, they are now under the mercy of the 18 and the 2 partnership, Twisted Navy and COT Tommy, nose to tail, and you can see they're getting no draft help on the outside. The rest of the field knows to keep those 2 out of winning contention. Jacket FND now behind the 22 of Nifty Agenda. The 19 of Lurkin Tom finding recent success in his Bass Pro Camry. Lurkin Tom Gaming coming into this race riding high, but really no one expected the sheer dominance from Marshmallow. Sweeping up the season championship just a couple of weeks ago, but Lurkin Tom not going down without a fight. Last week at the Charlotte Roval finishing 4th. The week before that, 8th in Bristol, getting the win in Indianapolis 3 weeks ago. And he has had consecutive top 10 finishes for the last 9 races. What a way to finish strong, and you can see Lurkin Tom sitting 2nd in the points, 275 digits behind first, so that championship well and truly sealed up. But if Lurkin Tom can manage a top 5 finish today, he will seal his place in the ARCS playoffs. Look at the 2 of COT Tommy forcing his way well to the inside of the 19 of Lurkin Tom, struggling to hang on to that ride. 46 laps remaining, and we've officially hit the halfway mark, and you can just see the draft, the closing speed of the 19 gets onto the 41. Here comes the 18 of Twisted Navy. He won't draft with the 2 this time around. He's going to follow his Gibbs teammate in car 19. 4 still leading. Marshmallow sitting second. Ryan Pennell in third. Jacket fourth. And the Bahamian Bossy Gio back into the 5th position. Next time by, drivers will have 44 laps remaining in this race. We're now inside the final 10 laps before green flag pit stops. This driver here, Deplorable Me, inside his final 5 laps for green flag pit stops. He gambled on a caution, and this gamble could come up snake eyes before the finale next week in Las Vegas, and he is trying to make these ARCS playoffs by any means necessary, and if a caution doesn't come out in the next 3 laps, that could be his playoff run ended. 96 of Marshmallow biding his time, knowing the 4 does not have the fuel to go the distance, pushing him as fast as possible. 43 laps to go next time by. DP finishing third last week at the Charlotte Road Course. As you see, the 14 of Jacket trying to make a move for first place. He'll get stuck out to the outside with no help, and Lurkin Tom Gaming will fill his 3rd slot on the inside line. Deplorable scoring 3 top 10s in the last 4 races. Hasn't seen a podium since 2nd place at Atlanta 4 weeks ago, and it's been his only podium one of 2 podiums this season, mind you. The Charlotte Road Course last week was his 2nd podium. Moldy Muskrat in the 41. He can certainly muscle his way to the front despite some aggressive driving tactics and a bit of instability on the inside line. But the young driver in the 41 car trying to make his run for pride here. He's scored 13th, 14th, and 12th the last 3 races. It has been just a downward slide since he scored 4 consecutive top 10s in the weeks before that. And here comes the 41 of Moldy Muskrat down pit road. He's pitting with the 4 and the 14 car. Possibly some strategy, and it looks like the 4 of Deplorable not pitting alone. There you see Moldy 9th in points, and Deplorable's playoff hopes still remain alive. Suicideways in the 3 car. It's been a bit of a downhill turn. He scored 3 straight top 10s. Darlington, Indy, and Bristol as he comes down pit road by himself. The Charlotte Road Course 12th place finish, and with 2 races to go in the season, certainly trying to score some bonus points for the end. Ryan Pennell in the same boat, finishing 14th last week at the Charlotte Road Course, now finds himself in the top 10 with green flag pit stops well underway. And your new leader in car 96, Marshmallow, leading once again in the ComScope Camry. The Season 2 champion, the Season 1 champion, and then Twisted Navy 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. 3 Camrys right now in the podium positions. Coming up to the 4 of the Deplorable Me, the 41 of Moldy Muskrat. Those 2 drivers being swallowed alive with ease. But not everybody makes it around, and there's a wreck in the back. There is the 2 of the 18 that are going around. The 2 of COT Tommy goes for a spill. The 18 of Twisted Navy going around for a bit of a spill. They're going to race it back to the line. Here comes the 17 of Bossy Gio on the outside. Drag race to the start-finish line. Marshmallow will collect the yellow flag at the line. Lurkin Tom in 2nd, and that looked like Ryan Pennell in the 3rd position. We're going to stay ad-free for the next 4 minutes. But that's going to bring out a big wrench in this pit strategy. 40 laps to go next time by, and drivers can go approximately 19 laps on their fuel. We're going to restart roughly with about 38 to go. So it's now guaranteed that these leaders, everybody who has not pitted yet, will be able to finish this race on 2 more pit stops. We will stay ad-free, but we're going to take a short break while the drivers come down pit road, make their adjustments. We'll be back and we'll talk with our season champion, Marshmallow, in car 96. Back with you as the drivers make their pit stops. Before we go racing once again, let's try and bother the Season 2 Thursday Night Thunder champion, Marshmallow. Marsh, Rick James in the booth. You got a copy?
Hammer down.
Yeah, I got a copy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Marsh, I got you, buddy. Loud and clear. Well, we confirmed it a couple of weeks ago, but you are the Thursday Night Thunder season champion. The lead now 275 points into this race. Highly insurmountable. So, champ, you've got the guy you beat in his championship defense, Lurkin Tom Gaming, to his outside. You, the 19 and the 18 of Twisted, have been drafting pretty well. Is that your biggest help out on this racetrack?
The draft, well, yeah, and try saving some fuel just in case it comes down to that. And like leading isn't always very important. It's just as long as you can lead the last one and get in position to lead it, the last one or up there. That's the important part.
Who's your toughest opponent on the racetrack so far?
The toughest opponent, I'd say Lurkin.
Lurkin Tom Gaming, certainly. And before we get going, champ, we have to ask you the most important question tonight. Marshmallow, what is your favorite movie theater snack?
Popcorn.
Popcorn,
Yeah.
all right. So that's 3 for 3 on popcorn, buddy. Best of luck. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you, too.
Oh, I will, March. I absolutely will. 3 for 3 on popcorn. Well, now it's decided I'm definitely getting popcorn after this race. Drivers lining up, trying to get in file here. It doesn't look like we might be going green this time by through the Freedom Venture Properties restart zone. Everyone's getting lined up, potentially going at the line here. And there is the restart. You can see drivers straggling at the back, trying to get a jump on the field, but we make it through mostly okay. We restart this race with 40 laps to go. .37 laps to go. A few laps off on the lap count. My bad. The 96 of Marshmallow leading this race confidently with fresh tires and fuel. Drivers will be able to stay out for approximately 18 more laps. The 24 of Richie C. trying to make his move on the outside with the 18 of Twisted Navy behind him. Now to the inside line goes the 18 behind the 12 car. 2 Toyotas still at the front of this race. Rounding out of the fourth corner, the Arkansas native Jacket FND currently running in the 10th position. and one of our lap streamers tonight. Thank you, Jacket, and COT Tommy as well, streaming lap count for us tonight. Thank you, guys. 36 laps to go now, and drivers can still go only by making two pit stops. They can only go the distance by making 2 pit stops to get the necessary fuel in these race cars. The 19 of Lurkin Tom biding his time, just being patient. Or is he? Now looking to the outside, the 12 of Ryan Pennell can't hook up, loses the 3rd position. Now the 18 of Twisted Navy fills in the 3rd slot, and Twisted, not only one of the best pushers, but one of the best blockers in ARCS plate racing. Getting up to the top 2 just became a whole lot harder, but the 18 car is pulling the strings because the 19 will need help. He will need a draft partner, and it will be up to Twisted Navy to control where the 19 gets his momentum. '96 going to the high side, Bossy Gio staying to the low side, Marshmallow forcing the drivers to snake, and he forces Boss to stay to the high side. But now look at the momentum that the high side is carrying. 17-2-41, all Fords on the outside line. The 4 and the 14 of Deplorable and Jacket joining the line. Jacket FND now to the inside, and he's giving the inside line more momentum than the outside line. There is Deplorable Me, who almost lost out big on that gamble, as it looks like the 41 of Moldy Muskrat has he DNF'd. He has indeed DNF'd, as has the 3 of Suis Sideways, and an unfortunate finish for the 41 and the 3 car respectively. 9:35 Eastern time, so I don't know if the bump is affecting these drivers negatively, or if the servers are coming to an unfortunate seizure. But the show rolls on. Nevertheless, the 2 of COT Tommy, one of our lap streamers tonight, along with Jacket FND in the 14. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Jacket, for streaming this race for us tonight. Matter of fact, if you want to see the point of view from Jacket FND, there's the link to watch the race from Jacket's point of view, and here's the link to watch the race from COT Tommy's point of view. Thank you once again to Jacket and Tommy for streaming that lap count for us tonight. Arch Enemy once again falling off the pace in the 88 car, hoping to do better. Twisted Navy on the outside, following his Toyota teammate Lurkin Tom Gaming, and it looks like the 96 of Marshmallow all but abandoned by his Toyota teammates on the inside line, but Marsh proving he can draft with the best of them. Jacket FND in the 14, always singing high praises of the driver of the 96 car, but does he have what it takes to get around him? Jacket FND with 1 win earlier this season, snagging the W here at Talladega earlier this season in the Thursday Night Thunder Series. The Arkansas driver incredibly confident of his car then. Does he share the same confidence today? Last 3 races. 2 DNSs and 1 DNF at the Charlotte Road Course. Jacket now sitting second inside the final 31 laps. It'll be 3:0 to go. Next time by, the top 10 drivers separated by less than 1 second. Everybody single file trying to conserve as much fuel as possible, and the driver at the front, Marshmallow, conserving the least amount of fuel, as he is the Pied Piper of Talladega for the moment. Lurkin Tom Gaming also being patient in that 19 car. Bossy Gio in the 17. He's been racking up decent finishes. Right now, he has scored himself 6 straight top 10s. His worst finish since those 6 straight top 10s, 13th at Road America, and before then, 4 more consecutive top 10s, and this isn't even his primary points-paying series. Bossy Gio just racing for fun in Thursday Night Thunder, picking up a W at Richmond, a second place at Darlington 4 weeks ago. Will today be his second win of the season? Deplorable Me managed to get a 3rd place finish last week at the Charlotte Roval. Right now, running in the 3rd position, Toyota, Ford, your top 3, the Busch, Apple, Mustang. Waiting patiently as the laps tick down on this fuel run. Drivers will be coming in inside the next 4 to 5 laps. It will still be a 2-stop race from here, but now as the laps get closer to the end, drivers obviously finding themselves with fewer and fewer places to make a mistake, most notably down pit road. At this point, a speeding penalty would almost certainly guarantee you need a caution to get back into fighting contention. The 11 of Term V falling off of the mark. Trying to get closer, but just no chance without that draft. The 22 of Nifty Agenda drafting well behind the 17 of Bossy Gio. The 2 of COT Tommy trying to get a good run on 4th place, Richie C. Laps winding down. Who will be the first to jump at 200 miles an hour and come down pit road? Richie C in car 24. Been a lackluster season for the Floridian, but when he has been on song, he has been able to get those top 5 finishes. Scored a 4th place finish at Atlanta after a dismal season where his first top 5 finishes only saw a best finish of 13th. Really kicked it into gear during the middle parts of the season. And now fighting for the lead at Talladega. The 4 car of Deplorable comes down pit road as the 14 of Jacket also come down at an alarming rate of speed. Richie C drafting his way to the lead. New leader at Talladega, car 24. 25 laps to go. This time by, it would be nearly impossible for a driver to save 6 laps of fuel on this next run, but these TNT guys are capable of just about anything. It may take even less than that depending on when they come in. None of the leaders coming in this time by. The 96 of Marsh Mauto, who spent the most fuel leading this race, now sitting in the 4th position, trying to save every drop he can before this next run. Twisted Navy on the outside. He'll be looking to get back in line before the pit stops commence. Twisted Navy now to the outside with help from Lurkin. Tom Gaming in the 19. That's Deplorable Me in the 4 car, who's all by his lonesome. And if the 4 car's by himself, that means the 14 of Jacket has had a speeding penalty, as we guessed. And the Arkansas driver with no draft help whatsoever, he's going to need a yellow or his race is done. Now 24 laps remain in this race. The closer they get to 19 laps to go, the better. But will they be able to save that kind of fuel? Certainly not enough for overtime. 24-12, Chevy, Ford, your top three. Pit stops inching closer. No takers this time by. T. Lockhart 11 saying, come on, Ryan, put that 12 in victory lane. Lockhart, as you see, the 14 of Jacket does get with the 18 of Arch Enemy, so these two will be able to draft together. Arch Enemy falling off the pace with the damage on the car, but hopefully Jacket has a draft partner. Mentioning the 12 of Ryan Pennell, there is the Alabama native, now sitting in second as the 24 of Richie C yields the lead potentially to save fuel himself. Penske, 1 and 2, 2 and 12, occupying the top two spots. Still no one coming down pit road. Lockhart hoping the native from Hoover, Alabama will be able to hoover himself a victory here. 73 laps now underway. It's 22 laps to go, and from here you could see a driver potentially saving enough fuel to go the distance. 19 laps, the suggested fuel range, but with careful fuel conservation, you can stretch it to 21, and it will be 21 laps this time by. The 2 of COT Tommy all the way to the high side. So new leader is Ryan Pennell in the 12, leading for the first time today. No one coming down pit road, which means these drivers will be able to go the distance on fuel, provided there are no cautions. T. Lockhart says would be happy with Deplorable in the 4 as well. Both drivers are class acts. The 11 of Term V, another DNF, so the FedEx driver not able to deliver a finish in today's race. Talking about the 4 of Deplorable Me, there he is in the mix, now behind the 22 of Nifty Agenda. I believe the 4 possibly finding himself a lap down, but we'll see when we come back around. Rock NASCAR 388 says keep on digging, drivers. My brother Rocky, glad to have you in this race, in this chat as we finish up this Thursday Night Thunder season. Now 20 laps to go at Talladega. All these drivers save for the 4 of Deplorable Me, and the 14 of Jacket can make it on fuel. Those two did come down together, I believe, with about 25 laps to go. Ryan Pennell still leading this race. No one darting down pit road, and it will be a one-stop race for the Alabama native. What a homecoming this would be if Ryan could score the victory in his home race. What started out as a disastrous season for Ryan Pennell, finishing 21st and 19th in the first two races, has been lucrative for him the last few weeks. 14th at the Charlotte Road Course last week, but a 5th and a 7th place at Bristol and Indy respectively, and then he gets the win at Atlanta 5 weeks ago. A roller coaster season after a disastrous Talladega race the first time around that started horribly and ended with him finishing 3rd as the leaders all piled down pit road. They've got to get it down to 55 miles an hour, and it looked like the 19 of Lurkin Tom coming in all too fast. We'll have to keep an eye on these drivers. 18 laps remain now in this race, and the two drivers that did not pit. The 2 of COT Tommy, the 4 of Deplorable Me. D-Bucks1 saying, don't blow it like a bulldog would. teasing Ryan Pennell in that 12 car. He is a fan of the University of Alabama, being a native Alabaman, but he also likes a little bit of Georgia football. Not sure how that works out, and not sure how this will now work out. From Dayton, Ohio, Deplorable Me 44, who finished second in the points last season, can prove, he has proved that he can get the job done at Talladega, but now without draft help, he's going to need to hook onto these cars and pray for a yellow. T. Lockhart 11 says, man, risky move staying out, strength in numbers when pitting. He's already pitted. He's got to get his lap back and hope for a yellow so he can get back at the tail end of the lead lap with enough fuel to go the distance. Ryan Pennell in the 12. He's out with the 19 of Lurkin Tom Gaming and the 96 of Marsh Mauto. So these three back where they intended to be. Catching up to the 24 of Richie C. USA. Running in second, but ultimately they want to get to the 2 of COT Tommy. The 19 to the outside, takes the 12 car with him. There is the 2 of COT Tommy, passing up ahead, coming down with enough fuel now to go to the end and potentially one more lap or two if we do go to overtime. Tommy now with no draft help, but he still is being scored as the leader. Tommy saving enough fuel and putting in an absolutely gorgeous in-lap time. Now with 16 laps to go in this race, he's just waiting for the cavalry to come and get him. Will he block? Will he allow the leaders to overtake and further burn up their gas? Lurkin Tom Gaming in the 19 car barely has enough fuel to go to the end. Twisted Navy in the 18, the 22 of Nifty Agenda, and the 4 of Deplorable Me. They must stay rock steady if they intend on catching up to these 5 cars coming out of 4. There's the 2 of COT Tommy losing his lead to the 19 of Lurkin Tom Gaming. Tommy being overtaken and will be sent back to 4th in line with the 24 of Richie C filing in behind him. There's Jacket FND with no draft help after that speeding penalty. And again, he'll be begging the racing gods for a caution in these final 15 laps. Massachusetts, Alabama, California, your top 3. United States, Mexico. That's how they line up. Coming to 14 laps to go. There's the 2 of COT Tommy testing the waters on the outside. The 24 of Richie C will go with him. The Bahamian, Bossy Gio from Nassau. The Clearwater Assassin, as he's known in the garage, now filing in behind the 24. Strength in numbers is the name of the game. When do the 3 cars at the back try to jump ahead of the 3 cars in the front? There's the Bahamian. Lucky number 13 laps to go this time by. The 96 trying to get help from the 2 car, making a move on that outside. Ryan Pennell looking for his 2nd win of the season. Lurkin Tom Gaming looking for his 3rd win of the season with a dozen laps to go next time. Each of these drivers, except Lurkin Tom Gaming, should have enough fuel for 1 overtime. Doing better than 205 miles an hour into turn number 3. The 22 of Nifty Agenda behind the 18, and you can see that these 3 have lost the top 5 up ahead. All they can do now is ride around and hope for a yellow. COT Tommy now running the outside, trying to get a draft off the 96, but no momentum there, hoping someone will dart high. Ryan Pennell has no sworn loyalty to the 19 of Lurkin Tom up ahead. The 12 could jump ahead of the 2. These 4 cars could overtake the 2 cars on the inside rather easily, but the 3 cars maintaining their friendship on the inside line. But for how long? 11 laps to go next time at the line. Richie C, USA, sibling to Tristan in the 48 car, who's not present for tonight's race, so he's flying the flag for his native New Jersey roots. But now the Floridian driver trying to get a good finish this season. 10 to go next time. Richie C having to come through with a good finish for himself after not finishing at the Charlotte Road Course last weekend. Look at Marsh in the 96 getting loose. Big scramble at the back. Now the 19 in the lead, but the 24 to the outside. Help from the 17 behind him. Into 3. Lurkin Tom with a gap over COT Tommy, who will close that up through the draft. Toyota, Ford up the inside. Chevy, Ford, Toyota on the outside line. Coming to 10 laps to go in Talladega. Marsh Mauda, the season champion, looking to put an 8th win in 16 starts this season, trying to finish this championship season with a magical 50% win rate in Thursday Night Thunder. Numbers never seen before. Now muscling his way to the outside. He's already committed. The 24 goes with him. 17 gives a push. The inside line just has the speed, but they'll have the edge coming out of 4, unless these 4 cars can get drafting on the outside. The 17 of Bossy Gio says, no thank you. He'll stay on the inside line. The 19 of Lurkin Tom Gaming keeping an eye to the 96 behind him. T. Lockhart says, the Redcoats are coming. 18, 22, and 4, all rocking a red scheme. Those Redcoats are indeed coming, but do they have enough time? 9 laps to go in this race. There are those 3 red race cars, the 18, the 22, and the 4. 8 to go next time by, and these 3 cannot give up the fight. With the leaders now side by side for position, they're no longer drafting faster than the 3 cars behind them. Will these 6 competitors have 3 more join them before the end of the race? 12 now on the outside, but just not enough help. The 24 of Richie C won't be enough. The 96 of Marsh Mauda will have to slot back to the inside line. 8 circuits remain at Talladega. All 6 cars now single file through 1. Marsh Mauda unstable off the yellow line. Richie C washing into the high lane. Bossy Gio now to the inside, wiggling back and forth as he's trying to get to the back of this outside line so they can make a move to the front. No momentum now on the outside line, no momentum on the inside line. Lurkin Tom with no help. Here comes Richie C. Here comes the 96 of Marsh Mauda. These drivers now trying to take the lead with 7 laps to go. New leader, Richie C. Will the 12 car go with him? They've cleared the front pack. Ryan Pennell just not able to clear the 19 of Lurkin Tom Gaming. The 24 and the 96 leaving their 3rd pusher behind. Chevy, Toyota, now your top 3, 7.5 laps remain. And don't look now. As T. Lockhart said, the Redcoats are coming, and those 3 now closer to the top 6, but with 7 to go this time by. Those top 6, here comes the 4 of Deplorable Me, who does not have enough fuel to make it, and those 2 cars now left by their lonesomes, and that may very well be the saving grace for the top 6 with 6 laps to go. Lurkin Tom running third. The driving force behind the 96, Marsh Maudo. The 24 of Richie C, winless this season and racing for pride at this point, now trying to get his first win. Here comes the 19, muscling his way to the inside, drafting off the 96. Will he have steam on the outside? Just no help for the driver of the Bass Pro Cabela's Tracker Boats Toyota. He and the CommScope Camry will now be resigned to the back of this field. 5 at the line. Twisted Navy leading the two-car tandem of himself and Nifty Agenda. Still not over for these two diligent drivers. But now time winding down for anybody to make a move. Camaro, Mustang, your top three coming up on a lap car up ahead. Bossy Gio with 4 wheels on the inside, but not advancing his position. 5 laps to go this time. That is the Dayton driver, Deplorable Me 44. Does he choose to help one of his 4 teammates get to the front, as he said earlier in this race? Does he stay out of the way and let the leaders fight it out? COT Tommy now to the outside. You saw him drafting using the slingshot. Tommy now to the outside of the 24, Richie C, and COT Tommy, your new leader at Talladega with fewer than 5 laps remain. 4 to go, 3 next time by. COT Tommy slingshotting his way to the front of this race. United States, Bahamas, Mexico, now your top 3 as Marsh Maudo sneaks to the inside in the CommScope Camry. Three laps to go in the penultimate race of the season. COT Tommy comes into this race 90 points behind the playoff positions. Twisted Navy, who is mired back, he sits, I believe, 7th right now, will go into the final race unsecure of his playoff position. If COT Tommy can get this win like he did at Talladega, his playoff dreams are still alive. But the season champion, Marsh Maudo, trying to draft to the outside, coming to 2 laps to go. .217.19, your top 3. Ryan Pennell in 4th. Marsh Maudo peeking to the outside. The 17, Bossy Gio, backing off to set up COT Tommy coming out of the 2nd corner. White flag. Next time by. COT Tommy scoring a 2nd place finish at Indianapolis a few weeks ago. Before that, 14th, 12th, 11th, a 7th place finish. Before that, 2 13th place finishes. It seems like 1 step forward, 2 steps back for the Connecticut driver. The Bahamian, Bossy Gio, losing the spot out of turn number 2, and it will be the Season 1 champion, Lurkin Tom Gaming, to fill in the gap. White flag is out at Talladega. 2.67 miles remain. Lurkin Tom Gaming with 2 wins this season. COT Tommy only with 1, and the Alabama native Ryan Pennell sitting 3rd. Coming up to lap traffic. Hopefully they are not a factor in the end of this race. 2 cars trying to draft on the outside. Richie C won't push Marsh Maudo to the victory, and Marsh is done. Coming out of turn number 4, COT Tommy looking for his 2nd win this season. Lurkin Tom backing off out of 4, but was it too much? Here comes the 19 with incredible closing speed through the tri-oval, the 2 blocks high. 12 comes low, 12 peaks to the outside, and it's going to be COT Tommy who gets the win at Talladega. Ryan Pennell finishing 2nd. Richie C finishing 3rd. Marsh Maudo coming home in the 4th position. Lurkin Tom 5th. Twisted Navy 6th. Nifty 7th. Arch Enemy 8th. Deplorable Me 9th. And Jacket rounding out the top 10. What a close finish An incredibly close finish for Ryan Pennell, the hometown driver. Fans at home, catch your breath and don't go anywhere. We're going to have podium interviews in just a moment.
Yep.
Now on the podium, what a thrilling finish. Third place finish for driver of the number 24 Liberty University Chevrolet, Richie C. USA. Wow, did you ever expect any sort of top 5 finish coming into this race today?
Yeah, man. I knew I had a shot at it. Talladega is probably one of my best tracks on the list. I was happy with nailing the pole. I was hoping to at least get a top 3. So, hey, man, I achieved what I wanted to do.
A great achievement headed into the season finale next week at Las Vegas. Congratulations on the bronze medal, Rich.
Thanks, bud.
Second place, driving the number 12 Body Armor Ford. Had T. Lockhart 11 cheering for him in the chat. Ryan Pennell, a great homecoming experience and a great way to get a finish at your home track. You finished second, a very close second to COT Tommy.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We had some struggles early on. We got some damage, and we were able to overcome that. And man, that was a really fun race. Really sorry to Lurkin. I was just trying to go for the win. I didn't know he was still there, and unfortunately, he hit the wall and ended up finishing 5th. So, want to apologize to Lurkin, but yeah, it's just one of those racing deals. We're coming to the checker flag. So yeah, the number 12 Body Armor Ford Mustang did really good, and proud of my teammate Tommy to bring it home, and Penske Racing won too. Can't ask for much better.
Speaking of COT Tommy in the 2-car, getting the win in sensational style. Second win this season, and almost a way to bookend the season by winning the season opener and then getting the win at the last plate track of the season, the penultimate race of the season. But COT Tommy, you get it done, and you creep up on Twisted Navy's playoff security coming into the last race of the season. D-Bucks in the chat calling you the Plate King, says you did it again. What was your strategy today, Tommy?
I didn't have a very good strategy early on because I couldn't get to the front. Every time I got to like second or third, I kind of got left out to dry and went to the back. But kept it going there. That last caution kind of left us in a spot where there was about, I'd say, like 40 to go, and we were a little bit short on fuel. So to make it on one more stop, so I kind of tried to that second to last run. I actually jumped out of the lead and let Ryan lead some so I could save some gas, and was able to stay out one more lap more than everybody else. So I knew I was good on fuel. I thought I kind of put myself in a bad situation there when I stayed out and only had one guy to who was DP to draft with in the 4 car. And but luckily I was able to take 2 tires on the last stop, and my left side tires held up, and I was able to bring home the win.
In sensational style, and now it's going to be a thrilling fight for that top 4 spot at the last race at Las Vegas. Tommy, congratulations on your Talladega gold medal, and we'll see you in 7 days' time.
Thanks, buddy. Las Vegas should be a lot of fun. Double points.
Double points next week, headed into the season finale. So even the top few drivers fighting for those playoff spots are not safe. It'll be the last race of the season, round 18, next Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. right here on Rick James TV1. Fans at home, thank you so much for another exciting chapter of Thursday Night Thunder Racing. Check us out at racearcs.com for more information. As always, fans at home, stay safe.